الرحمن علم القرآن.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Bilal Ayub. This is our first video of the second lesson. It's video number 1 of lesson number 2. In this video we'll talk about the compound letters. In first 3 videos we talked about individual letters, but here we'll talk about compound letters. So it's lesson number 2. Huroof Murakkabat means compound letters. 2 or more letters combine, join together to form a Murakkab compound. Pronounce each of the Murakkab letters separately like Mufradat letters. Make sure in this lesson also to pronounce the letters in the established manner with the Arabic accent. When 2 or more letters are joined together in writing, the shape gets changed a little. Usually the head of the letter is written and the body is omitted. Identify the letters which are the same when in the compound form by the difference in the number and the position of the dots. So here we have some letters and there are more than one letters. Only the first letter is one letter, but the rest are 2 letters. So remember, when a letter is connected to the next letter, the shape of the letter most of the time it gets changed. So most of the time what you see is the head of the letter, or you can say that the first half shape of that letter. And sometimes you see a totally different shape, and sometimes it's a similar shape but a bit smaller in size. So let me tell you the examples. For example, this one. Here we have 2 letters. So the second one is quite easy to recognize. That's Alif. It's a straight line, so that's Alif. But the first one, you can call it either the half shape of Ba or a full shape of Ba, but a bit smaller in size. Because usually Ba looks like, just a minute, let me make a full shape of Ba. So the usual shape of Ba, it looks like this. So that's the full shape of Ba. So you have to recognize the letter just by looking at the head of the letter or the half shape of the letter most of the times. So this one, the very first letter, that is Alif. It's very simple. It's a single letter, so it's easy to recognize. But the other one, this. Well, the second one is Alif. This one, that's Alif. The first one, again I have to remove the second letter. Okay, so now it is almost the full shape and the letter is Lam. The full shape of Lam is a bit different, but not very much. Like this is the full shape of Lam. That's what Lam looks like. So that is how you have to recognize the letters. So the 2 letters here are Lam, Alif. And the next letter, again, it's lam alif. So these are the two different shape of the exact same letters, lam alif, lam alif. So this is what I said, that sometimes it will be a totally different shape. It does not look like lam and alif, but it is one of the shapes of lam alif. So you have to remember these shapes in your mind. So the letters are alif, lam alif, lam alif. But from here it's a bit easy to recognize. That one is the half shape of ba. It looks like ba, and the other straight line is alif. So the letters are ba, alif. And here the shape is almost the same, but the only difference is that here the dot is on top of the letter. So if the dot is on top of the letter, that's noon. So, and the next letter is alif again. So this time the letters are noon and alif. It was ba alif here, and it's noon alif here. And the difference, you can see, the difference between ba and noon is that ba has dot at the bottom and noon has it on top. And here again the same shape, but this time with two dots on top. So two dots on top, it is ta, because ta is the letter which has two dots on top. There is another letter which has two dots on top as well, this one, qaf, but it has a different shape. So this, it can only be a ta. And so the letters have ta alif. And here, now this is another example of a totally different shape. This letter, it's very easy to recognize, it's very hard to recognize, because the letter is ya, and the full shape of ya, it does not have dots. The full shape of ya does not have dots, but here if it is connected to the next letter, it has two dots at the bottom. So remember that ya is the only letter which has two dots at the bottom. So ya, if it is connected to the next letter, it has two dots at the bottom, but if it is not connected, then it won't have dots. If it is connected to the previous letter, still it won't have dots. It will only have dots at the bottom if it is connected to the next letter, the letter after ya. So like here, ya is connected to the next letter alif, so it has two dots at the bottom. So the letters are ya, alif. And this one with three dots on top, only two letters have three dots on top. One is this and the other is this, and the difference between the two, you can see, is the shape of the letter. So this simple shape with three dots on top is sa. So the letters are sa alif. So you can see the shape of the first letter in all these is exactly the same. The only difference is the dots. So you have to identify the letters just by looking at the dots, the position of dots, and the number of dots. This shape of the letter, if it has one dot at the bottom, it's ba. If it has one dot on top, it's noon. If it has two of them on top, it's ta. And if it has two at the bottom, it's ya. And if it has three dots on top, it's sa. And the other letter which has three dots on top is this, sheen. And as I said, the difference between sa and sheen is the shape of the letter. They both have three dots on top, but the difference is this part. Well, here sheen has this W kind of shape. So this shape, if it has three dots on top, it's called sheen, and this simple shape with three dots on top is sa. So that W kind of shape without the dots is called seen, because this is the half shape of seen, the head of the seen. Hold on, let me just remove the letter again. Just remove the second letter. So that is the first letter, and it looks like seen because it is the first half shape of the letter seen. Hold on, let me just complete the letter. because the full shape of Seen, it looks like this. So that's the full shape of Seen, and that's the half one. So it is the half shape of the letter because it is connected to the next letter, Aleph. So the letters are Seen, Aleph. It's Seen, Aleph. And here again it is the half shape of the letter, and it is the half shape of Fa. That's the half shape of Fa because this is how Fa looks like. So it's Fa and Aleph. And the next one, the difference between these two is that Fa has one dot on top and Qaf has two of them. So here the letters are Qaf and Aleph. And again, Qaf is the second letter which has two dots on top. The first was Ta. They both have two dots on top. Because these are the only two letters with two dots on top. And with three dots on top, these are the only two letters. And Ya is the only letter which has two dots at the bottom. And there is no letter which has three dots at the bottom. So no letter has three dots at the bottom. Okay, this one, it is the first half shape of Jim. So the letters are Jim and Aleph. So that's Jim, and it is the head of the letter, the first half shape of the letter. That's the shape, and it has a dot at the bottom. So this shape, remember, if it has one dot at the bottom, it's Jim, and without the dot, this shape is Ha, and with a dot on top, it is Kha. So here it has one dot at the bottom, so it's Jim, Aleph, Jim, Aleph, and this one, since it has a dot on top, so it is Kha, Aleph, and this one, without the dot, it is Ha, Aleph. And this one, well, it looks like Hamza and Ain. It is it looks like the half shape of Ain, and it also looks like the full shape of Hamza. But remember, it cannot be Hamza. Hold on, let me show you both the letters. That's the half shape of Ain, and that is the full shape of Hamza. They both look exactly the same. The half shape of Ain and the full shape of Hamza is exactly the same. So it can be either, but it is Ain. It cannot be Hamza because the Hamza is never connected to the next letter. So since it is connected to the next letter, Aleph, it can only be Ain. So the letters are Ain, Aleph. And this one is exactly the same shape but with a dot on top. So Ain, you know, if it has a dot on top, it is called Ghain. So it's Ghain, Aleph. And one more, this one, well, it is the half shape of Swat. Let me just remove the second letter, Aleph. So that is the half shape of Swat, because Swat looks like this. That is the full shape of Swat. Swat looks like this. So that's the full shape, and that's the half one because it is connected to the next letter. So this is Swad Aleph. Okay, let's read all the letters one more time. The first was Aleph. The other was Lam Aleph. It looks like Lam Aleph. But the third again is Lam Aleph, but it doesn't look like Lam Aleph. But this, you have to remember the shape, that this is another shape of Lam Aleph. That was Pa and Aleph. That was Noon and Aleph. Ta Aleph. Ya Aleph, because Ya if it is connected to the next letter. As I said, it has two dots at the bottom. Ya alif, Sa alif, Sheen alif, Seen alif, Fa alif, Qaf alif, Jim alif, Kha alif, Ha alif, Ain alif, Ghain alif, and Swad alif. Okay, that's it for today. We'll see you inshallah in the next video. Till then, take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.